Hi, welcome to Ocean Yemi's channel. So, as you can see, there's been a lot going on for about a week, I think it is, to do with this cult pastor leader. Um, I put out Pretty Dawn and RT Boss, or what they think on the matter. Also, Mr. Vegas. So, because I didn't cover it when it first, no, I did cover it, but because the information was so all over the place at first, I took down the video. So now I'm gonna put on bits of video, bits of voice notes, articles on this cult leader, on the cult, which is a Christian church, by the way, which wasn't clear at the beginning. So also, the pastor himself he's well known in his part of the community in Morbay. So I'm gonna show you from some of the bloggers some of the information, and then we're gonna listen to some voice notes. And obviously, the video before this one, right? Obviously now the police have got him, okay, because he literally did literally murder. Really, that's what he's done. He's done murder, basically, and he sounds not only in the police station. He sounds mad. He looks mad. So, but it's best to hear the information from during last week because a lot of information was coming out. So I'm gonna put up the information. Give me a minute.
Welcome back to another video, people. It's Crazy Jams. You know, I'm convinced Jamaica is one big Netflix series. At least 3 people are dead after a member of what's believed to be a religious cult in Montego Bay opened fire on the police. The police reportedly acted on intelligence that the cult were performing human sacrifice rituals and visited the location. I so play some voice note me gonna hear what go on, but before I go any further, people, the graphic photo them, the graphic video them is on caribloop.com. So now just go up on Google and search for caribloop.com. It's on that website. The picture them graphic, really graphic. The whole of them dressed up in a white, half naked. A woman throat gets slashed. That are before the police them reach. People, me I tell you no joke thing. This a real life sacrifice cult a go on in the church in the night, last night. All the cameras set up, you can see the knife them with them knife, they look like all sword the way them long. Everything is on caribloop.com. At the first me I see them things here in Jamaica. Africa and them place them normally hear them thing and go on. And this man who is said to be the leader, him dead too.
I tell us say, I don't know normal na you tap there. The man there 3 cow in the place there. In the yard where we have, in the church business where they have, where they say they have. You see me? And like a leader tell one woman I like us say they kill the cow. The woman a buck chauffeur. And then tell one man say kill the woman. The man slash the woman throat, you know. Live sitting in my people when they tell you, you know. But it's like they brainwash them brother, so it's like no trouble for them. You see me? You see me? Yo, brother, the scene dirty, brother. Woman throat cut, man stab up. So if a long night upon the scene, brother, me tell you say I be a naked man. Every one of the man they naked now. Police when them just go there no man. I pass time see a move. You don't know if you tell cock stiff naked as being born go in the pool. You know. I be yo brother, me tell you something normal happen there, brother. Yo, I don't know normal happen there so since night. Yeah man, everybody naked. The whole of man them out there dress who get gunshots, stab wound. The whole of the man they naked, brother. Naked as the day them born. Yo, me I tell you say. And everybody come and say church or Christian brother if we run into you. Come and tell us say I see him premium so you say I know some of them soldiers them did they say and even some people even they attendant of now time and say yo right now in free that church. Cause if I so pastor will gather up with the brother brainwash up. Cause it's like look where the man do cause me go there no man they met us say pastor naked you know, handcuffed now lay down pan him belly now, naked no brother. And it's like he make give a sound like him ball out and the member them you know, the whole of the woman them cause the police had them on one side. Soldier pen them up and strap on them you know. You see me? I had them on one side and I'm leaning over spine being like him ball out like and you hear the woman them when they scream and the gallant want to go help him. After the man then they kill him one another brother and they stab up him one another. Brother, so knife up on the scene a sign, but I first me see my knife is some Rambo knife long in my youth. But the man they have a stab up them one there. And they don't see nothing wrong with it. So it's like he can get them brother and charm them or brainwash them or do something to the people in my youth. So nice young man, I say you know say I work with them even I chat to one man and I say man, how you come here so? The man I say you know say I work with them, say I Juta and do decent young man in the youth. Say I Juta and do and call them say no have them like a ritual and a little meet this evening and then if you come in and they say boy and they know say I this then the pan. Sitting. You I'll tell you boy. Yo, so I just come off of that scene yo. Remember me tell us say yo no normal brother. He come like every soldier in Jamaica did. Every police did it. A couple people go to hospital. Couple did well. And I tell you say normal brother. Serious it me tell you no man. One church member them stab up them one another, shoot up them one another. And then when the police come down and fire after them. They on the scene till about 11 sitting left after it. Because we make a 2 trip to the hospital over Paradise now so. And the next ambulance make 2 same way. And people still live on like same way. Yeah. A serious thing going man.
So on no joke thing people. The videos, the photos is on caribloop.com. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Right, so this is when the police was searching for him. I have a few articles on the leader, Kevin Smith. So, Radio Jamaica News has been informed that the police have been conducting a search at the home of Dr. Kevin Smith, the leader of Pathways International Kingdom Registration Ministries in Montego Bay, St. James. The team of investigators include the Major Investigations Division arrived at Smith's house in Coral Gardens about 12:30 p.m. on Thursday. They were accompanied by firefighters who cut the padlock to the gate to allow them access. The house has been condemned off as the police carry out search. Investigators had to abort plans to search the home of the religious leader on Wednesday as they were unable to enter the padlock property. Mr. Smith remains in police custody following Sunday night's deadly incident at his organisation compound in Auburn Meadows, in which 3 people died, 2 in a human sacrifice ritual, and the other shot dead by police. when they were fired on as they entered the premises. Tuesday, Assistant Commissioner of Police Clifford Chambers told Radio Jamaica News that Mr. Smith is being investigated for several offences. ACP Chambers said members of Pathways International are cooperating with the investigators. So here's a voice note.
I'm in fact on location in Coral Garden, where there's a small team of police officers from the Major Investigation Division and the St. James Caribbean Search Center. They're here conducting a search of the house, which is said to be owned by Dr. Kevin Smith, leader of the Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministry. The team of police arrived here close to 12:30 with firefighters who were able to cut the padlock to the gate so the police could gain entry. It's early days yet, Dejan, and the search continues. We're not able to tell what's happening inside because the house has been cordoned off. But I should let you know that yesterday a team of police officers came here. They were unable to get in because they didn't have the right gear to get inside. Today they got it right, and the search continues.
Now, more information came about the treatment of the people in the church as well. Plus, there is information of his life that he kept behind closed doors as well. So, what we're going to look at now is the treatment of the women, the boys, and all that. The women, so as this article reads, the treatment of women, boys caused former member of St. James cult to leave. So a member did actually leave. So an unflattering portrayal of Kevin Smith, the now discredited leader of the religious group Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries based in Montego Bay, was provided on Tuesday by a former member of the group. The woman speaking on Radio Jamaica Beyond the Headlines said one disturbing trait she observed was Smith's negative attitude towards women, saying he didn't speak highly of women, referring to them in a derogatory terms. This, she said, made some persons uncomfortable, and she began to question the accountability of his ministry and her place within the group, contending that the church is supposed to uplift people. She added that Smith used force to discipline the boys who were part of the organization, alleging that he often beat them any time they misbehaved. Why would you beat somebody else's child? She questioned. The former member also claimed Mr. Smith was pampered by members of the organization to the extent that he did not even fully dress himself, requiring assistance in that regard by the young men of the cult. He revealed that he closely monitored the members' impersonal relationships, and this led to conflicts from time to time. Assistant Commissioner of the Police Clifford Chambers confirmed on Tuesday that Mr. Smith was being investigated for several offences but declined to say, basically. He said members of the group are cooperating with the investigators. Destructive cults arising from the disturbing, um, stuff that's come out about the St. James based group. Jamaicans are being urged to be on the lookout for the telltale signs of destructive cults. A destructive cult is defined in part as religious movement which causes harm to its members or other people, or which will likely do so. Alan Ross, exclusive director of the Cult Education um, Institute based in the United States, say they are the common behaviors of these leaders, these cults, which should raise a red flag. Ross, speaking on Beyond the Headlines, characterized the head of the cult as the all-powerful, charismatic leader who becomes an object of worship, has no meaningful accountability, and is the defining element and driving force of the group. Whatever he says is right, right is right. Whatever he says wrong is wrong, and there is no sense of checks and balances for this leader, he added. He said the second core characteristic of such leaders is the manipulation of followers to gain undue influence over them. This is often seen in control of relationships, social isolation, he added. Mr. Ross said when leaders of the destructive cults gain control of their followers, this usually leads to exploitation.
He didn't speak highly of women at all. Women, he'd always be derogatory with them, talk about them being whorish and everything. He spoke about women in a very demeaning way. To the latter part of the time I was at the church, I started getting uncomfortable because I'm saying, this doesn't sound like a joke anymore. Church is supposed to be uplifting people. He would make comments about, like, anytime they misbehave, he would beat them. So it was stuff like that that made me start questioning. I'm like, why are you beating somebody else's child? He will adopt them from anywhere between 2 years to even grown persons like 21 or 22. At one point, he had 8 boys living with him. He had a collection of boys living with him. So he doesn't do anything for himself. He doesn't even dress himself for church. He'd have the young men put on his jacket, put on his pants, put on his shoes. Whenever he's preaching, someone would go and wipe his face, give him water. Whenever he's walking, even when we had baptism, baptisms are usually done at the seaside, so it's very hot. Somebody would always have an umbrella over his head. When he's going into his car, somebody opens the door. It was very worship-like. I had dated somebody that was close to him in the church, and we're supposed to spend the day, on the road. He'd be video calling him like 5 times, wanting to see him, wanting to talk to him, making sure he's always available to him. That was something that I thought was weird about the relationship. But he always talked about him like he was a father to him. It was confusing.
The all-powerful, charismatic leader who becomes an object of worship has no meaningful accountability and is the defining element and driving force of the group. Whatever he says is right. Whatever he says is wrong, and there is no sense of checks and balances for this leader. The second core characteristic is that the leader manipulates his or her followers to gain undue influence over them. And you can see that through the control of relationships, social isolation, and that could be to take money from them, to gain free labor from them to generate money, or it can escalate to physical harm and sexual exploitation. And these are the characteristics that you will see over and over again.
Now, when they was investigating him, they came across his social media footprint, as you can see here. So we are going to read through his social media footprint. I haven't got it on this. Seeley Warren Warrior distanced self from Montego Bay cult leader. Public figures under security will know him in it. So, dancehall artists Seeley and Splinter Warren are among the public figures distancing themselves from Montego Bay-based alleged cult leader Kevin Smith. The dancehall artist took to social media on Tuesday night to distance herself and her baby father, Christopher Martin, after photos was circulated showing Martin shaking hand of the cult leader in Montego Bay. It was murder mayhem on Sunday night as two church members were killed in what appeared to be a human sacrifice. Police later said on Tuesday, October the 19th, because it's been like a week, I think, and evidence collected showed a sinister plot to murder 144 church members in human sacrifice. The alleged cult pastor of the Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries in Montego Bay, Kevin O. Smith, has been arrested and held by the police as they investigate the church, which has been in operation for over 11 years. So far, there have been several efforts by people connected to him using funds for his bail and legal fees. While news of the murders spread quickly across Jamaica, many was curious why the churchgoers were all naked and wrapped in white sheets. Some have been digging up information about the church leader, including his connections to powerful people in Jamaica. A photo has been circulating with several high-profile people, including the former Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, former People's National Party government minister, and a few entertainers and athletes. There is also photos being circulated with Smith and Sean Paul. It's very well likely that entertainers, not knowing what he has been doing at his church, took photos with him on their different occasions. Among them are Chris Martin and C. Lee, who social media users are claiming are affiliated with the cult after an old photo surfaced showing Martin shaking the hand of Kevin Smith. Lee's now deleted the Instagram post, admitted that she knew the cult leader she met some time back, introducing Chris Martin to as well. She said she was asked to perform at a function hosted by the cult leader. Me know this dirty man too. People tagging me in this pic. I brought Chris with me to Jamaica Conference Center, where I performed free for this demon who I thought was a man of God. This is that, as you can see, years ago, at least 10 years ago. Chris don't even know this man. Think I met the demon on a plane and he told me he was the youngest ordained minister in the Caribbean, and me like fool thought that was awesome, and exchange numbers like I do many pastors. Celia is now a gospel artist, and neither does she have the gospel single, but she did not say more about the event she referenced or whether it was not a religious event held. However, she went on to say that after several conversations with Smith, she started suspecting there was more to him than what was normal for a true Christian leader. The man had pics of very important people. Yes, he showed me and told me he was a prophet, called himself Excellency, and said he had good things to tell me. But it never got to that, 'cause I hated every time he said I have to pay. As saw me stop answering the man, 'cause he was always saying to tell me things from God. I needed to pay tithes and tits, and me not pay none. She said that she did not keep in touch with the cult pastor, although later, as the news came out about the human sacrifice, she realized she was following him on Facebook. I found out it was the same man when my friend at Share Row called last night and mentioned I was following this murder on FB. I didn't even remember did I follow the brother. Yeah, 'cause me now chat to him in about 10, 11 years. Never even know him. The Jamaica, me, they even unfollow him. I felt he was off, maybe a scammer, but never in a million years did me sitting like this, expecting something like this. Okay, so this is Christopher Martin shaking hands with the guy. Athlete Warren Ware also distanced himself from Smith, as photo of him with the alleged cult leader making rounds on social media. Athletes are often asked for photos. Yeah, which is what I read earlier. Yeah, I read that earlier. Okay, so the famous people start distancing themselves from the guy. Okay, let's move on. So this was the one I was showing the video of the members being put in the van. Okay. That was the video previously I took down of them being taken in the van when they dressed in the whites. So I need to show that again. The one that I look for. Where is it? You know, when you're looking, when you have everything marked now, when you come to look for the stuff, you can never find what you're looking for. Anyways, we are going. I think there's is also loads of testimonies coming out too. So let me find that instead. Hold on.
Good morning, Miss Reed. Good morning. Me alright. Me nothing wrong with me. Me alright. But not listen to everything you hear and believe, because sometimes people run with the wrong story and people say the wrong things and people accuse people wrongfully. But what I'm saying is that we have no answer for what take place. I was there part of what in the last part in the evening what happened. But all I know is I see mystery and I see God in action, what I witness. How can you sit down one place and one soldier and police, military, 100 gunshot go at you one time and not one shot touch the man of God? That is mystery. That's all me have to say. What happened is it is not spiritual. It is a demonic attack from some maroon people when car come the Saturday night. Me can't explain to you, but me talk to you. Listen to what you hear, but and everything you fi swallow and accept. But me alright still, me good. We get paper fi go a court fi breach a curfew act. We were taken to jail. We treated like a king and queen down there. Some of the guys them that was inside, and so His Excellency is still there. But just pray for him, so they may do Jesus and he may come out victorious. So we have to suffer with him and reign with him. Now so I go, Christ. Of course, I'm good. I'm good because I'm alive and well, and God is able to carry through. But you don't tell me, or you can't answer for me, or you cannot stand before God for me. So allow me to make my decision. Me thank you for concern, but maybe the concern you have is not a good concern and is not a good advice. So therefore, me no want you sorry for me. And me no want you tell me what to believe in or who to believe in or who to trust. Because every man have to stand before God and give account for their own sin and their own judgment. So you can't be a judge, neither for me, for Bishop, nor nobody. So therefore, work your own salvation out with fear and trembling and leave God people alone and mind your own business. That's all me have to say. Because the Bible teach you and say, touch not the Lord anointed, doing profit no harm. And if you don't know and understand, you leave it alone because you in this world, but you still don't understand the world you live in. So therefore, you need to go down for your knee, ask God to open your eyes and we soon see what take place. Miss Reed, me and your friend, but you can't tell me what to do with my life and how to live my life. And I said so Jesus when he had 12 disciples, then betray him and then turn them back on him. You can't tell me to turn my back on my bishop because him same one when deliver you from your bleeding where you when come out there with the bleed like a cow and you they go to church too much here and he never deliver. And him deliver you so you can't say that. So you can't tell me what to do with my life and how who me fi believe in because you don't know what take place. Sorry.
So those are some of the members that did get released from the police, but the one I really want to find is the one where there was an insider who gave a deep account of what was going on. So I'm gonna try. Okay, so we're gonna hear the voice of one of the victims that come out of the church. Okay, so let me just reach it.
$100,000 fee to stay in Smith's Ark, where congregants slept on the floor and were fed dumpling and mackerel gravy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the People's Forum of In the Streets with Big Stone. For an entire mountain march of last year, 70 congregants of Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries who were told to pay $100,000 each for entry into Kevin Smith's Ark slept on concrete floors and barely had enough to eat. That first boarding of the Ark ended badly, but without the loss of life seen during this week's bloody second attempt. Yesterday, a victim of Sunday's ritual who had boarded the Ark on both occasions painted a picture of an organization heavily focused on feathering the nest of its leader and followers who often blindly complied with the shepherd's wish. In an exclusive interview with the Jamaica Observer, the victim, who asked not to be identified by name, said Smith's first call for them to board the Ark came just a week after Jamaica confirmed its first COVID-19 case. He told us to take out loans and bring them to him to buy food, because the Lord spoke to him and told him that something is coming. That was the novel coronavirus pandemic that was coming. He knew about it. I don't know how, but he knew about it before it came here, the man told the Observer. He then called the Ark on March 17th. He said that we should all get into the Ark because a lot of things are going to happen and the coronavirus is going to kill a lot of people. We believed him. the young man added. He explained that the Ark was the name Smith gave to the physical building of the organization, now being labeled a cult. It was stocked with supplies paid for with loans taken out by congregants. While the standard entry fee was $100,000, he and other members who had been experiencing financial difficulty were given a blight, but nobody entered free of cost. I didn't have $100,000, so I ended up paying $20,000. But everybody else, he told them they should bring in that $100,000. A lady had to pay $300,000 for her 2 daughters, and a granddaughter, but a lot of people did pay the $100,000 to come stay there, said the man. He said it was grueling 4 weeks at the premises in Albion St. James. While we were there, we were treated badly by people he had as the missionaries and ministers. We were getting 2 dumplings with mackerel gravy for dinner. He had us sleeping on the ground, and they were cooking like 3 tins of mackerel for about 70 people, he said. He would make them give us ton cornmeal to eat. Some days we got porridge to eat in the morning and soup to drink in the night. And you know those are appetizers, so we did a death for hunger. In addition to the steep entry fees to get into the Ark, they were also forced to pay utility bills, the young man said. He said that we have to pay for the internet because we have to call with family abroad, and we have to pay for light and water. I think it was like some ridiculous figure. He said the water bill came up to some $200,000 and that the light bill came up to this and that. So every family had to pay additional money, the victim shared. He said that after a month at the premises and no sign of conditions improving, a former member was made aware of the events and raised an alarm on social media. This forced the leader to allow them to exit the Ark, he said. It came to a point where a lady overseas who used to come to the church started to talk about it. She posted on Facebook saying that it is not right. How can he have some people sleeping on the ground while he was locked up in his office under air condition? He was eating big food while we were eating scraps like we were dogs, he said. Commotion was over there on a daily basis because people were not used to getting this little bit of food. He even changed the menu and we got broth in the evenings. But that didn't really have much substance to help you go through the day. So we were always hungry, the man added. With empty stomachs growling, congregants were also forced to sleep on coal slabs as the building was still under construction. When the lady started to talk about everything, that's when he told us that we are going to go home and he's going to tile out the place because the ground wasn't suitable for us. And then we would come back, the young man said. He later called others behind our backs and stated that no Ark will be kept. Time passed and we started going back to church, he told the Observer. They were never called back until about 2 weeks ago, he said. On Sunday, what congregants believe was a 3-day convention turned into a nightmare after 2 members of the organization were stabbed to death during a ritual involving human sacrifice. 3 others were injured. Another member was killed by the police after allegedly charging the security forces with a knife. Wow, 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 wow. What a powerful testimony, word by word, action by action, of a young man that was held captive in the ark, waiting for the leader to summon the ark to take them to safety. Now, Jamaicans, it's time we open.
Now, on this laptop, they found a laptop, and on the laptop they found the Moore Bay cult pastor revealed the numbers 144 to be sacrificed. So that was already on his laptop. So I don't know whether I can show the thing, but hold on. Let me just see.
Female were murdered by detectives as a part of a high-level probe. 9 men from the church remains in jail this afternoon. The men remain behind bars as police investigators intensify their probe into the killing of 2 church members during a ritual on Sunday evening. The deceased male and female were murdered by fellow church members as a part of what's believed to have been a human sacrifice. A third member of the church was killed by security forces when he allegedly attacked them with a knife. Among those in custody is the leader of the church. It's understood that an aspect of the police investigation is also focused on the source of funding of several senior members of the church. The church leader is to be interrogated by police investigators in the coming days about the circumstances in which 2 people were stabbed to death in the incident. Head of the Corporate Communications Unit of the JCF, Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, today stated that the police expect to lay criminal charges in connection with the grisly killings inside the church. 3 people were also wounded during the bizarre church ritual. They remain in hospital this afternoon receiving treatment. Among the wounded is a man who has stab wounds and was begging for his life when security forces invaded the church on Sunday. The church is located in Albion, St. James. Next thing we say, police says they prevented potential mass killing following cult-like incidents in Moore Bay. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson says the police prevented a potential mass killing of women and children at a cult-like organization in Montego Bay, St. James on Sunday evening. So here we go on destination, the police are saying they stopped a potential mass killing of women and children. Next thing we say, this one is from the Jamaica Gleaner. Dr. Kevin O. Smith's Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries reacting close to 1 million per week from offerings, consultations, and the spiritual encounter the Gleaner has learnt. Next thing we say, GoFundMe page launched for arrested Moore Bay religious leader. A GoFundMe page has been launched for the accused cult pastor, Dr. Kevin O. Smith, by a man based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The organizer, Robert Smith, is hoping to raise 30,000 USD, which accumulates to 4.56 million GMD, to cover legal fees for the head of the Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries, who was arrested by the police on Sunday. About the woman that was sacrificed, I don't know who originally wrote this, but we have to say this. My condolences to the friends and family of Tanika Gardner. You did not deserve what they did to you at that church. I will do my part to ensure justice is served. And they say, well, go on, there's a nation. It seems as if she was an ATL worker. But I wanted to tell me how not think about that moving on, but not far from the topic, as Tony Matterhorn had this to say about the matter.
I can't deal with so much on the God, yeah, man. When I go on like a Greek mythology, we are study. Zeus, the god of thunder, and Ares, the god of death. Too much bumbuckle at God. The next one I want to come out as a name God. We're gonna fuck it up. We don't need God with Gully God. Some I want to like the crocodile face one when named Ground God. We don't love elephant as the energy God. And in a pandemic, me not gonna lie, the girl them, and if I look a freaky man them take a liking to Gold God, cause him did a bring entertainment. And then last but not least, the people them did love Bro God until him start lock them down and them says, ah, so to how me see it, it's either you have the true living God, and all of the rest of God them you just say you fuck off, or you go dead bad. Cause now see them have this cult guy where is a batty God. So then you soon see one man go do surgery and say, start me at the surgery, God, my titty them big. Kiss my nipple. Why not tell me, say, listen to me, man. Wanna stop it? Yo, dog. Me done with you now. Wanna stop it? Jamaicans on a blood clot, stop it. Cause see this man come out and say, hear ye, I am God. Fuck a man and stab a man. I want woman and stab a woman. See the police, them and all a shoot off for the police, them come and say, I walk to them police, I'm your God, pop. I want to take God for. Sir, I idiot to not take God for. No, me a joke about it, cause God said me can't joke about it. Cause God has said, talk to them, magic. Make them pussy them know, say they don't fuck it themselves. That's why me a talking up. And when God tell me if you talk, me talking up. Somebody say, Nas say he's not gay anymore. Him a batty boy. And him friend them. But it's sad, but it's true. Remember them say the man say, him is God. Come on my church, me a God. You know want batty for fuck? See somebody there. You know want stab a man? You know want kill somebody and don't go to prison? Bust a bitch your throat. And then bust somebody throat. And then this man I say, him a God. And the people say, Bumbleclot, him a really God. Can you imagine how much Bumbleclot people them gonna kill at a church before the police them come find them last night and fuck them up? Talk truth now. Now you see why them believes that this man a God. God told me here, it's like, if you want somebody to kill, you just get up and feel like you want to kill somebody and you go to prison. You got a church there. Cause the man say, my God, here what? And I burn a spliff and I say, a boy this here, I'm going to kidnap him, bring him here. Bust him throat, kill him. And me a God. And then the person bust the person throat. And then nothing come out of it. And this did happen in Jamaica. We want to have a batty God. Listen, my man. Hey. Let me tell you this blood clot. Until I need this message, this part of the live, or you can record this part of the live. Although you know the bloggers them done a record already. But my bloggers, when you record this part for me, then me gonna know say on a real. Record this part. Right Honorable Bro God. Respect to you, top of the morning to you, or top of the evening to you and your lovely family. I would humbly like to request something as a citizen of Jamaica. I want to request something. Can I say people request things and you grant it and you never know the people. They're never famous. Me famous. I'm famous even long before you famous. So, Bro God, I would like you to make it a public announcement for the Right Honorable Andrew Holness. And when I address the Prime Minister, I don't speak indecent language or nothing like that because I am dealing with the Right Honorable Bro God. So, screenshot the part and send it to the Right Honorable Bro God. At this point, our country is in a perilous time and we're going to face more dangers. You as our leader, you are going to be the one held responsible because you are the leader of that nation. So we are humbly asking you to grant the church, even a day, all the churches in Jamaica, a day to walk the streets of our beautiful island and give out some prayer. We need it. In this perilous time, please and thank you. Remember, I said humbly, we are begging you. Even though we don't have to beg, but we're going to beg you. Because you know, and me know, at the rate of how Jamaica go, we are going to face, I'm going to use one of the big words them now. Miss Kitty, move out of the way. You go like a yellow, no big words. A catastrophic aspect, phenomena is coming our way. We are going to face a very grave endeavor. It's going to be so drastic. We're going to drop like flies. So, to the Prime Minister and to the government of Jamaica, from the Right Honorable Bro God, Andrew Holness, we are humbly begging you, even a day, to make it known, make it a public announcement. Of course, take the basic precautions, wearing the mask. I'm a mask, because you know me have my mask. I don't ever wear my mask, but I have my mask. There, I'm wearing it. Pocket. I'm up there. You know, someone left it at the house. No, I have it in there, man. Anyway, but we are telling you, we're asking you, humbly begging you, urging you to inform the churches to make a walk in the streets of Jamaica. Not just Kingston, the streets of Jamaica. So if we have churches, a country, we need the country churches, them church members, them for walk the streets. We need the country, the whole country. We need the whole country to be cleansed. And don't get me wrong, the police doing a good job, but they cannot cleanse the country. You understand? We need prayer. Remember in a Michael Manley time, Michael Manley did it. Edward Seaga did it. PJ did do it too. And Portia did do it. Bruce did do it. So if you not do it, then you're a demon. And then, so you have to do it. Not because me want you do it, but every prime minister before you. I remember when we had all the riots them, and we had the church. I remember when the gunman them plagued the street. We had the church. When them did a abduct with kids them and cut out them liver and them something there, we had the church. So you need to show some godliness to the bro godliness. So send out the church and stop worrying about COVID, because vaccine can't save you from COVID. Prayer can. So send out the church and make the church do its work. It's either you tough up and don't send out the church, and you're not going to have a place to govern. We need fasting. One day now go stop your prime ministry. So we are asking you, we are begging you, quote unquote, begging you, just make it a public announcement so the church can get in effect quickly and effective. You try every method. You try this, you try that, but you never try the church. And at that, me have a problem with you with. Me I say, oh, you try everything, but you not try the church. So, please, sir, try the church. Because if you don't try the church, then you can't govern, because there's no government we can. Because one, when you become the prime minister, you swear in front of mankind and God. Right now, we is a God-fearing nation and we need the church. We need the church. So if you can come out and give me a speech every month, come in and miss none of them, You must can come out and give the church one day. Give the church one day. Because if you can give God one day, you know, remember say you're going to need one day from God, you know. So it would be nice if you give the church a day. Make the churches them. Thus, even if work not go on, or work go on that day, give the church them a day, make them cleanse. Make them cleanse. The prayer, it work. Me see it work before. Me are 49, I'm going to be 50. So no Jamaican can't tell me nothing when me never see. And me see the church come out already, and they come out and at the street, and it did purge the street. So please, sir, give the church a day. You know what I'm saying? Trendy Queen, happy birthday, big up yourself. Give the church a day. Amen to that. Praise the Lord. We no business if church people are wicked. People when I go church are wicked. People who go church are wicked. We no care about that. It's just like I told somebody before. You have Obia Walker God church. Iniquity Walker God church. Batman and Sodomite God church. Right? But is it safe for you to say, oh, me now got church too, Batman and Sodomite got church and wicked people at America got church? You're not business about them. You go a church because you want a church, go praise God. Right? You can look upon the fact that we all know you have wicked people in the church. Gunman go church. Mr. Man fire shot off a man and then go in a church. You understand? Man just leave from church and go fire shot off a man. So you can't say because everybody go to church, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Everybody go to the church. But you don't have the right to say, oh, because some dancehall girl got to church. Me not go to church because them go to church and then them go dance. You know business about that. You go to church because you want to go to church, no? The day when you go in at the church, you feel like no sinners never in at the church today. One of them church sister there should just suck off on a church man them cocky in a car outside in a parking lot. Yes, I said that. But she in at the church and she beg forgiveness. And furthermore, God said, come as you are. Church because you want to go to church. You want to.
Okay, he is supposedly right as he started talking about what happened in the cult church, innit? So he's kind of driven and gone somewhere else. So he would stop that one there. Okay, so let's look at the other article. Okay, so this is the pastor looking well as you see him here compared to the last video, which I'm going to put up at the very, very, very end. This is how he looked. So the bloodbath prophet warned of apocalypse, witchcraft, sex dreams before horror, human sacrifice. Hysteria gripped the crowd as they clamored to be healed by the self-styled prophet with the God-given powers. The entrance men and women packed the church in Tooting, South London, to have demons driven from their souls in the battle with the devil. Oh, he came to England, it sounds like. So this is him and his grandees. Overwhelmed, many collapsed at the Midas touch of the preacher, rapping fire and brimstone into the microphone. This was a weird world of His Excellency Dr. Kevin Old Smith, laid bare in a 2018 YouTube video. But those British worshippers will be questioning their faith today after he was arrested at what appeared to be a terrifying human sacrifice ritual, with 2 people died and 3 was left with life-threatening injuries while others were stabbed. The Tubby preacher and 41 followers were held after two worshippers had their throats cut at the start of an alleged bloodletting ceremony in Jamaica on Sunday. No, it was a week. Another was shot dead after opening fire on police, who halted the horror as more potential victims, including naked men and animals, were lined up to slaughter with the ceremonial daggers. Among the turmoil were 14 bewildering children. Police swooping, fearing Smith believed he was God, was about to launch a massacre. He had summoned his congregation to his church in Paradise Heights, suburb of Montego Bay. All were ordered to wear white and leave their phones at home, wrapped in foil before embarking on his Noah's Ark journey to salvation. Jamaican-born Smith, 39, wrote on Facebook, "It is a Roman Catholic sacrifice. It will have no survivors." Police are convinced the major bloodbath was only averted because a woman who was wounded for disobeying of orders at the church raised the alarm. The ceremony is understood to have centered a rapid anti-COVID vaccine campaigner Smith bid to stop bloodline pollution caused by witchcraft, which he claimed caused wicked sex dreams. He sent Facebook messages as a bloodletting began on Sunday, imploring the Ark is loading now. Leave immediately dressed in white. One post around 8 p.m. revered, "I am His Excellency Dr. Kevin O. Smith, Crown Bishop and End-Time Nabi, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, of Kings of Kings and Lords of Lords, Jesus Christos, the one true living God." He went on to prophesy an apocalypse in which 999 planes bearing the number 6 will fall from my heavens across Jamaica, the whole world on December the 2nd, 2021. Police was last night still questioning Smith and amended claims that the high-profile figures, including police officers, government officials, plus tax collectors, teachers, had joined his escapade named St. James Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries Church. A source close to the investigation told The Sun a 39-year-old office worker called Tanaki Gardner was first to be sacrificed by having her throat cut. Then a man was ordered to strip naked and died in the same way to get the impure blood out of his body. The ritual was said to have been overseen by Smith, an off-duty policewoman who was a follower. This is a huge concern that the influential people, including other local police officials, were involved, and that this may have happened before and gone unreported. The entire congregation had been called to the church, and around 50 had arrived wearing white when the killing started. So scores could have died. They had done 2 days of fasting on Friday and Saturday, and the ritual began on Sunday with people lining up to board the ark after Smith warned the great flood was coming. 2 were sacrificed before police moved in, and another was shot by the police. And after opening fire on them, 3 more police are in hospital, 1 in life-threatening condition, and more were stabbed. A witness told how she fled. Oh yeah, this is the witness. I think I spoke about it already. So this is the man, right? So also, he has a page on Facebook too. But let me go. So, as they talk about his Facebook, I went and I found his Facebook. So, this is his Facebook. Let me see if I can put it right. See the message there, what he put out. The ark is loading now. 123A Road. Leave immediately. Dressed in white. PCC registered only.
Between kings by intermarriage, foreign women would influence the lifestyle of the Israelites, so they would begin to abandon their unique lifestyle which God had called them to. We see later in Israel's history, Ahab who married Jezebel and Jehoram who married Athaliah. They learned the hard consequences of ignoring this prescription. Fourth, the king must not accumulate large amounts of gold and silver. Perhaps God wanted to make sure Israel's king remained dependent upon him for success. But really, he wanted to make sure Israel did not interact with the pagan, that he would be supplying them their gold and their silver. Fifth, the king must keep a copy of God's Torah with him to be read throughout his life, so he would rule according. But if he kept this Torah, he would be steadfast to rule according to God's principles. This was God's king, faithful, separate from the pagans, guiding God's people to righteous living as a shepherd leads the sheep. They began to face a threat from the Philistines. They went to Samuel the prophet and requested a king.
We don't need to hear his babbling because we know who he is now, okay? So this is just a little bit of him talking in his services.
Samuel was angry. You
Right, this is supposed to be an exorcism what he did as well. See, so this is how his spell is on his followers. So this is him doing a so-called exorcism.
You are banished from the life of this boy. All blood covenants are renounced. All sexual contact, spit, saliva, food, gifts exchanged, they are renounced. In the mighty name of Jesus. By the authority of the Holy Spirit, I remove you from his soul. I remove you from his spirit. I remove you from his blood. I remove you from his destiny. I remove you from the atom of every cell in his body. You unclean devil and demon of darkness. In the name of Jesus. Come out of him! Come out of him! Jesus. Come out of him! Jesus. Come out of him! Jesus. Come out of him! Come out of him! Come out of him! In the name of Jesus!
Now, he also did crowdfunding as well. Okay, so I'm going to show the crowdfunding as well. We're going to add that to the evidence. A crowdfundme was launched for legal fees of the Pathway Church leader Kevin Smith. As earlier shown on GoFundMe.com, a campaign launched to help the legal fees of Dr. Kevin Smith, who is currently behind bars as a result of sacrificial deeds that was being done at the Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries Church that was located in Montego Bay. Check out the messages that was written by Robert Smith in the request for funding to aid in leaders' legal fees. His Excellency Kevin Smith 999, all members of the Pathway International, let us raise funds required for the lawyers to defend Crown Bishop His Excellency Dr. Kevin Smith and other members. Now is the time to stand up against the adversaries 999. You know how to. Oh, there you go. So there was crowdfunding for him, as you can see. 999. They'll call it more like 666. So
entertainment spot.
Is raptus, which is rain, torture. That is what the rapture is. I come with salvation. I do not come.
okay. So now, from the last video, I'm going to show him again at the police station now, how he looks now. So you've seen all that You see him in his church, in his fineries. You see him in the church being the charismatic preacher that he is, that he was. And now you're going to see another side to him now. And then after that, I'm going to finish there. Okay? So let's just show this.
Share up the video, guys.
Rapture is the reaping. No, but you said 9 o'clock you have open at the heart. Rapture is raptus, which is rape, torture. That is what the rapture is. I come with salvation. I do not come to rape my people of their freedom, of their breath. You have to pay in this nation to walk your footprint, carbon footprints. If you march in this nation, you must pay. If you breathe in this nation, you must pay. Do you not understand that Pharaoh has built his great house and he is stepping on your necks? Pharaoh tried to bring me down, but I am that I am. All you people of the world, I came to you in this form. I am Small Soil, born in Glengough, Victoria, the year of jubilee and victory. But what happened? Oh, hospital, mat. They made my life a mat. I suffered, I bled. Look at this night when I came to call all of my sheep, the stray sheep from the 12 tribes and nation. The thunder comes, the cloud comes, and the rain comes. But you did not believe my report. I am the fountain of life. I am the Catherine Peak. I come from St. Catherine. That's why you gave me water from where I come from. St. Catherine, Jamaica is where I was born. I have fulfilled all.
Now, this man right here sounds mad, sounds crazy. This is a man who's off of his head. He's probably even taking drugs. That wouldn't even surprise me. But there is a lot going on with this man right now. Right there in this particular video. There's a lot. I will play more, but I've already got a video of him talking already. So now I've come to the end of this pastor Kevin Smith because people's trying to raise money for him to come out or whatever, and he did all this, and he even was hiding who he was too, because they were saying also that he had young men around him, young men around him. I was trying to find the article because I found like about 10 articles. There's like I think I must have bookmarked like 15 of them. I don't even know. 5 or 10, I don't even know. I lost count after a while. But he had some young men around him who was dressing him. The young men that was dressing him, there's other things going on with them as well, right? So, but lots of bloggers, they pick up on that side of things because there was men talking. I think apart from the man that spoke out, there was also a woman that spoke out. Then there's also a woman that also was a police officer that was also involved as well. I think I have a picture of her as well. Let me see if I could find her. Oh yes. See, I found it. See, if I wasn't meant to find it, well, I would not found it. Okay, let me show you this officer here. Now remember I said he have a rant of a madman. See? Fatal cult run by madman and false prophet Kevin Smith. And this was the police lady that was involved. Let me see if they talk about her. They talk about her. See? So in this one they call him a madman. False prophet and madman. The not so excellent C. Kevin Smith has been bewitching his cult members for years. According to sources, Smith has a list of 100 people that are planned on sacrificing. According to the sources, a young lady was sacrificed, and police found out that's the lady that was killed. And the police found the young woman with her throat slit. Kevin Smith has been raising eyebrows over the years with bizarre requests and false prophets. And Smith's most recent bizarre request was to instruct his members to bathe with only water and not use deodorants, as well as any oils and lotions or products in their hair. He also made claims that the cruise ship will crash in Caribbean Sea, causing major flood on the island, and an event that was planned by the Pope as a form of human sacrifice. One of the cult members who lost. Oh, this is one of the cult members who lost their life. My bad. This is one of the cult members that lost her life. Dancers and worship at the pathway. So this was what the dancers. When they do them Christian dances. But this lady, yeah, she's one of them who lost her life. So he has a lot to answer for. He had have a lot. Also, what Mr. Vegas also said about the children and what was going on, that was also spoken about by bloggers also. So, because I had to really go look. I had to look really deep. It's really hard. At first, it was really hard to find information about this event. But this is as it stands now. Now he's at the police now, and they're trying to, I think, try to find out the reasons behind he did what he did. But as you can see, he is babbling a lot. He's just babbling. He's not even making sense. So, with that said, I'm gonna go now. Thank you for joining me, whoever O'Neill for joining. Thank you for those who haven't clocked in and say hi or whatever. And please like and comment and tell me what you think of all this. Now we've seen kind of a backstory to certain things. I'm sure I haven't got all of it, but this is what I found anyway. So with that said, I'm gonna come off. Have a good night, a good day, whatever time span you're in. See you. Bye.